Black Desert Online brought in a ton of money its first week. Valve tiptoes its way into pay-to-win territory. All that and more. I'm Zach Sharps, and this is Free to Play Weekly. In a lengthy blog posted this week, Skyforge detailed their guild system called Pantheons. Pantheons, like normal guilds, allow players to form large groups of like-minded people to utilize social tools, and in Skyforge, meet up in a stronghold of their own. From the strongholds, Pantheon members can monitor the world and react quickly to the alien invasions in the world. Members can then prepare for battle against the hordes or defend the honor of their Pantheon in Skyforge's Pantheon War system. You might be asking yourselves though, what are these Pantheon Wars you speak of? Well, they're weekly battles between other Pantheons for control over a territory that grants the winning Pantheon income and unique rewards. During these wars, half of the Pantheon gladiators participate in PvP, while the other half show their worth in PvE trials. Overall, it's great to see more MMOs incorporate a system that emphasizes guild play in the form of territory conquering, especially because most of them just seem to have endgame raid progression that gets stale after a while. Remember when the new combat system hit Runescape, people got angry, made petitions which resulted in them bringing back the old Runescape for members only? Well, if you don't, let's just say it was a pretty big deal for RuneScapers back then, and once members got the old version back, free-to-play members were left only to play the new version. That is until now. Old Runescape is officially going free-to-play for all, so now non-members will be able to relive the glory days of the browser-based MMORPG by Jagex, and with it going free-to-play, of course, comes limits. Those limits are that the new accounts will be unable to trade away items during their first 24 hours, and a few other interactive options will be limited to prevent players from creating unlimited accounts and using them to supply other players with loot. These restrictions, of course, go away once you become a member, but will you come back to RuneScape now that the old version is free to play, or will it forever live in your past? Leave me a comment down below. Over the weekend, Valve's hit MOBA did something no other has done before on Steam. What did Dota 2 do? Well, it broke 1 million concurrent players on Steam, marking it the first ever to do so on Valve's gaming platform. The highest we saw it go here at MMOBomb.com was 1,153,000 and some change, which is quite impressive for Steam. However, those of you who play League of Legends already know this number is quite small, especially in comparison to Riot's boast of 7.5 million concurrent players. Regardless though, if 1 million is obviously smaller than 7 million, I can guarantee you Valve is still extremely happy to see their MOBA be so successful. In other Dota 2 news, what's the best thing to do when you have a lot of active users? Tempt them with pay to win! Yeah! And that's exactly what many are calling out with Valve's recent Beast Brawl temporary events. Beast Brawl lets players add a ferocious monster to their 5-player teams. The monster can then be upgraded with ability points acquired through gameplay or via the cash shop. This is where players have called out pay to win because, in other words, you can acquire the points to power up your monster via gameplay, or you could speed up the process through the cash shop, giving your team a better chance of winning. Even though this is a temporary game mode, I still feel like this is a very sketchy move coming from Valve after they reach new heights in terms of concurrent users, but who knows, I could be in the minority, so let's leave it up to you guys. Time to drop the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked whether or not you guys have given an MMO a second chance and why. A user by the name of Kakuzin93 said the following: Mabinogi is one of those games that I keep coming back to for some reason. It's one of those games that doesn't even compare to other MMOs. It has that unique style where you can go and do anything and go anywhere, and the social aspects are great too. Tons of content and always fun to hop back into after a long day of work. Thanks for your response, Kakuzin. If you want your answer possibly featured in next week's episode, make sure to leave a comment down below. This week's question is, with the recent backlash to Dota 2's tiptoe into pay-to-win land and their temporary game mode, is it okay for games to add a pay-to-win element if it's only temporary and doesn't affect the game long-term? I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this one because I'm slightly conflicted about this subject. Fans of Neverwinter rejoice! Perfect World has some great news for you this week. The next expansion for their hit free-to-play action combat MMORPG is announced to be dropping on March 17th. The expansion will feature villainous cultists, a new paladin class, a level cap raise from 60 to 70, and the return of Minsk and Boo, the ranger and miniature giant space hamster from the Baldur's Gate series. Yeah, you guys heard me right, a miniature giant space hamster. Overall, it's great to see content added to Neverwinter because it shows that Perfect World wants the community to stay active within the Dungeons & Dragons based universe. Are you still playing Neverwinter? Leave me a comment down below. For our last bit of news this week, Dom Games, the developer of the free-to-play Korean sandbox action MMORPG Black Desert, recently stated their Week 1 financial figures, giving us a taste on how well the game is doing. Within its first week, Dom states the game has 1.5 million subscribers and brought in 2.3 billion Korean won, which translates to a little over $2 million. Later on during this conference call, they started talking about the accounting standards for Black Desert, which we can assume means expenses, and that figure was 570 million Korean won, which translates to about $514,000. Overall, I would say that's a success, and it'll be very interesting to see how well the game does once it's ported over here to North America sometime in 2016. For those of you more interested in Dom Games financials for Black Desert, you can find the link to the full conference call on our article found on mmobomb.com in the description of this video. Well guys, that does it for the news this week. As always, make sure to head on over to our giveaways page, bookmark it, sign up for the alerts. You guys know the drill. That way you guys never miss a giveaway. And we do them pretty frequently, so you might want to do everything that it is said. As for myself, my name is Zach Sharp, signing off until next week's Free to Play Weekly. I will catch you guys next time.